So in this curriculum, we have established that we have the number one rule for the training and performing, that we do not allow students to pull guard in grappling. The reason why is because we want to maintain realistic self-defense applications. So we want to instill the development on the students to become proficient at doing takedowns. This also has to do with a bad start that pulling guard can have in beginners, because gravity and the lack of skill and an undeveloped guard can lead to a lot of tournaments lost. So as we understood that this is one of the reasons why people lose, we reverse engineer and we created the mandate that nobody's allowed to pull guard until they become advanced or expert in submission grappling. Also, some rule set of some major tournaments punish this athlete who pulls guard with deductions. So we want to make sure all our students are aligned with this practice. The next is the understanding of a study that I conducted many years ago, where I found out that 78% of the times, whoever scores first in a tournament match wins. Regardless if it is a takedown, sweep, or guard pass, it is important that our athletes are the first one to score points. So statistically, it is very hard due to time and the rules format of many tournaments organizations to overcome being behind on the scoreboard. Being behind on the scoreboard can have psychological effects as you're fighting them against the opponent and you're fighting against time. So we like to use that for our favor and take advantage of the situation by making sure we are trained to score points first, regardless of the situation. Another very important rule for kids and adults too, but we joke that this golden rule for kids in competition is the no butt on the ground rule. For beginners, the mat floor functions as a magnet that sucks your back and makes it stuck on the mat, making it very hard to move and to overcome bad situations when you're being punished from the bottom. Okay? So the no butt on the ground rule reminds children that we do not allow them to put their butt and backs on the mat. They must be playing top position at all times, no matter what. If they fall on their butt or back, they have to bounce back like a lightning struck to get used to do that. So this can become a habit. So always praise and always remind them of the golden rule, no butt on the ground rule. Hundreds of my students won tournaments just because of that rule. Not because of any specific technique. It's just because of the mindset that we want them to be top players at this level. Another study that I conducted many years ago, it's in regards to guard passes. So I found out that in 91% of the case, if you pass the guard through your right side, you're going to be successful passing the guard. And if you pass the guard through your left side, you're successful 9% of the times that you are attempting guard passes. This is because most people are turned to the right side, okay? So you create an incredible amount of defense and attacks turned to your right side, okay? Remember, now I'm talking about me, the bottom player, as this is my right side, which would be the opponent's left side, top player, okay? So every time you're top player and you're trying to pass the guard through your left side, you're immediately fighting against your opponent's strongest side of defense and attacks. Okay? Most people do not train to the other side. So it is much more effective if you train your students to pass the guard through the right side, which happens to be my left side as a guard player. I have no defense, I have no attacks, I'm not comfortable here. So that study that I conducted many, many years ago, I found out that one of my students was in a tournament in Miami, and he was trying to pass the guard through his left side for 4 minutes, unsuccessfully, because the guard player was extremely well-rounded and had great defenses. And at that tournament, after waiting for 4 minutes and dozens of attempts, I told my student, you know what, abandon this and go to the right. So immediately as he tried to pass the guard to the right, he passed the guard after attempting this guard pass in only 8 seconds. And not only he passed the guard, but he went straight to the mount, because the person had no defense about blocking the mount either. So my student, not only he passed the guard in 8 seconds, but he went to the mount, and instead of getting only 3 points, he got 7 points securing the win. So that was the big aha moment that I had about 10 years ago. And ever since, I mandate that all my students learn the technique through their comfort zone side, which is the left for most people. But once the technique is mastered, I immediately tell them, okay, now we're going to train this through your right side dozens, hundreds of times. And every time you're sparring, you must attempt guard pass through the right side. You can also fake you're going left and immediately going right. And of course, at the high level, this guard pass will happen both ways. But for beginners, as one of our recipes of success in securing gold medals for novices and beginners, this is one of the recipes for victory. Another very important secret of our program is in regards to passing the guard and securing side control. Okay, so most people initiate very good guard pass, they reach side control, but they lose the side control and they allow the opponent to retain guard. Okay, so I learned that it is much more effective, especially for children, but that applies for adults as well. If we bypass the traditional cross-body side control and we send our students directly to north-south, okay? In cross-body side control, our legs are very close from the opponent's legs. So guard recovery and guard retention is very easy to be achieved because my legs are very close to the opponent's legs. So in contrast to that, if you get out of the guard and you project yourself all the way to the head, both of your legs will be facing opposite directions. So it's much harder for the guard player to bring the legs and recover in the guard. It allows you to move and maintain the distance and to be safe in this immobilization. So it is a good idea for you to train all your guard passes with beginners and tell them to not stop inside control, to go directly to north-south. Another very successful tool in our program is the one sweep that we do, the low double leg sweep, the LDL. Okay, this is the one move that we want to instill our students to have it. We don't like to offer a lot of tools for them so that can create hesitation. We like to have one move. The LDL is the move to go. It's nothing like a low double leg done from close guard, so the student has to open guard, get up on the knees, and attack being underneath the opponent with a low double leg takedown. That is very important because, again, the mat works as a magnet that sucks our backs in, and it takes a long time to develop students and make them to detach their backs from the mat. It's a long-term process. So the sooner we start giving them this tool, the faster they will achieve this result. So in contrast, think about it. A lot of grappling schools, they teach armbar from the guard, triangle from guard. So what you're doing is that you're telling the students, okay, spend a lot of time from the guard so you can try your armbar, so you can try a triangle, and then your back is going to be sucked by the mat, feeling like a magnet. Top players punish and pressure you. So we rather have our students to learn how to create separation, detachment from the mat, overcome the situation, and go to the top game, because that's how much easier people can prevail and win competition. Another part of the program is that we take advantage of early referee stoppages, okay, based on rules, especially for children. So in children's competition, the referees have the ability to stop the fight and tap out on behalf of one of the child. So we like to take advantage of that by focusing on submissions that can make the referee to be worried about injury and wants to prevent and be more willingly to call the fight. So those submissions are the arm bars, Americanas, and Kimuras. So always remember that this can go against our students too. So we don't like to actually train a lot of escapes and defense from submissions. We rather work on prevention and not let that happen to begin with. Our basic program is aligned with self-defense applications. Luta Livre's self-defense system consists of the aggressor attacking me, for example, in a standing position. Okay, so in a fight where we are both standing, strikes are very dangerous because of kinetic energy. Okay, so because of the person is standing and moving with legs forwards and backwards, side to side, Those movements will create a chain reaction of energy that is unleashed from the bottom of the body with hip, torso, shoulder, arm, and strikes with the hands. This is extremely dangerous, so it's part of all grappling arts as a self-defense mechanism to not stay standing against an aggressor. So we like takedowns. So we focus on attacks on the legs, so we take the opponent down as the first phase of self-defense application. Once you reach the ground and you took the opponent down, you may be inside a closed guard or open guard. And the second stage of the self-defense system is to overcome the legs. That's why guard pass are rewarded in competition for this maneuver, because legs are dangerous. Anybody can be knocked out from kicks from the bottom to the top from the guard. So passing the guard safely is imperative for self-defense applications. So once the guard has passed, we are interested in securing the opponent with his back on the mat, utilizing a hierarchy of pins that are normally known as side control, knee on the belly, and mount. Those pins are meant for you to be safe without any risk of being punched or knocked out, while you have the choice to punch and knock the opponent out using strikes if you deem necessary, but it's an option. So once you obtain top control dominance, you can rest, maintain control, wait for an opportunity, and then seek the last and final step of the Luta Livre self-defense system, which is the submission to finish the fight. Submissions from all pins are available as Americanas, Kimuras, chokeholds, arm bars, and the option to pursue back control, which will be a prime position for chokehold and even arm bars.